Question 7, it says the rhesus factor is a protein antigen on the red blood cells. Individuals possessing this factor are Rh positive, those lacking are Rh negative. Okay, the Rh positive is a dominant. So they're telling you here, and we know this from questions in chapters, or unit 6, or unit 5. We kind of know this information already. We've seen this before. So Rh positive is dominant to Rh negative, meaning we're always going to use this in our calculations. This is the numbers that we're going to use in our calculations. So this data on the Rh factor is a sample of a typical population. So they're saying Rh positive, 85% of the population are Rh positive, but we don't know if those guys are P squared guys, homodominant, or if they're 2PQ. So we can't use those calculations. We do know the negative is 16%, and we know that can only be Q squared. That's the value that we're going to always use, again, in our calculations for these type of questions. It says, what is the frequency of the Rh negative allele? And using that number, find the frequency of the positive allele. So the negative allele, again, allele just means single. And if it's the negative allele, that would be the recessive, they're asking for Q. And they said, take that number and then go find P. Okay, and again, just the single allele is what they want. So all they want is P and Q to determine in this particular question. And record your answers to 1 decimal place. So again, we must use this negative, Rh negative number, and that's going to be, again, if you are negative, you must have 2 recessive alleles, meaning your Q squared equals 16. We can't use 16, so we're going to change that into a decimal by dividing it by 100. So we get Q squared being 0.16. Now that's Q squared again because we are negative, Rh negative here, those 16%. So we want to find a single Q. We're just going to take the square root of 0.16. And again, you should be seeing patterns developing. These problems are all generally the same. Once you get the hang of them, they're not too bad at all. So we take that, we come up with 0.4. There's one of our answers, and we're going to take that and we're going to use the P minus, or the 1 minus Q to find P. So when we do that, P equals 0.6. There's our 1 decimal place, 1 spot after the 0, and there's the P value there. So any questions? Again, the only trick here is that they're giving you a distractor. Don't use the dominant allele, because the dominant allele represents both homodom and hetero guys, because hetero guys will still show the dominant, in this case, Rh positive trait. So any questions, just give me an email. Thanks.